Hey, Zach from ECUMaster here. Today we're talking about our CAN switchboard module. I feel the same way about our products, like so many people feel about their children. You're not really supposed to have a favorite. This is absolutely one of my favorite products that we make. It's a tiny little circuit board. I think it's about 30 centimeters square, so it's about 1 inch square. You can't see anything from the camera because it's, like the size of 2 fingertips. But what this is, it's basically an expansion module that transmits signals over CAN bus. CAN bus, quite simply, is just a 2-wire network. So let's say you've got 5 different modules in your car. You want them to talk to each other and share signals, but you don't want to have to run an individual wire for each signal, each pressure sensor, temp sensor, speed signal, whatever. You can transmit it over CAN bus with a 2-wire connection. So quite cleverly, this little device can accept 8 analog inputs. So that means a voltage from like a pressure sensor for fuel pressure, oil pressure, or a temperature. Or you can have a multi-position switch, like these rotary switches right here, for setting traction control, boost control, you name it. So it can accept 8 analog inputs. It can accept 8 switch inputs, which, like this right here, you can build a steering wheel module that has 8 push buttons. And then it also has 4 low-side outputs. A low-side output means that it connects a circuit to ground. So let's say you want to trigger a relay. You can trigger up to 4 relays with this based on messages that it receives over CAN bus or inputs from switches. And it can trigger 4 relays for fuel pumps, water pumps, intercooler pumps, you name it. Quite simply, just a neat little expansion module, gives you a lot of inputs and outputs. If you really start sensoring up a car and going racing and want to do a lot of data acquisition, you can run out of input and output channels very quickly. So the primary purpose for this was to design a tiny little board that could be used in steering wheels for, let's say, endurance racing cars where you don't want the driver constantly taking his hands off the wheel. So that's where this comes in. This is a simple steering wheel plate. You've got some switches, you've got some trim pots here. You can build it in very nicely, and you've only got 4 wires to connect: power, ground, CAN high, CAN low, and those 4 wires transmit all the signals and power the device. The other beautiful thing you can do with it is, again, like I said before, if you run out of input and output channels, this is a great little expansion module that lets you send all those signals via CAN bus to your dash or your PMU or your ECU, you name it. You can log it and do things with that data. Anyway, quite clever little product, one of my favorites, and that is the ECUMaster CAN Switchboard.